What's up everyone, how are you guys doing today? I'm doing pretty well, thanks for asking. Today I woke up with a very positive mindset and I thought of doing something creative and doing something fun. I'm very excited to film this video. I put a story on my Instagram for you guys to send me photos that I can edit and I can show you the workflow of what I do, specifically on Lightroom. That's the app that I use. I do get that question asked a lot, that what app do I use and what software I use. So Lightroom, Adobe CC, and sometimes Photoshoot, I use both of them to edit my photos. I thought it would be a cool idea if I put it up on my Instagram and have you guys send me photos. I did ask for Bangladeshi street photo, a few submissions. These photos look amazing, but I couldn't use all of them, so I only handpicked a few, and I'm gonna show you now on the screen of how I edit. You're probably thinking why I'm wearing a hat in the house. It's because of quarantine. Like, I did not get a chance to cut my hair. My hair is like super long, and I've been seeing all these guys like shave off their head and whatnot, but I decided to put on a hat. Anyways, enough of me talking. I'm gonna show you the screen of how I edit those photos. Alright, so this is the first photo that was sent to me that caught my eye first. The photos look great. There's a lot of things going on in the photo. These are one of the photos that I asked for, the streets of Bangladesh. So first of all, as you can see already on here, this side right here, it's kind of like not cropped properly. It's kind of tilted. So what we're gonna do is hit this crop tool and click on auto, so the app just does it for you. So as you can see already on the side, it aligned it for me, so it's much more of a straighter photo. So right now there's a huge blue sky here. What we can do is desaturate the blue sky. So what I'm gonna do, and darken the road, so it's gonna have like a really nice moody tone to it. So if I go over my presets, the blue sky, red day, red, you can turn the red sky to green, yellow. I really what looks nice. I feel like the red sky looks nicer. You can see on my Instagram that most of my photos have like a reddish sky, so I got this reddish type of feel to it, but the building is also getting red, so I'm going to remove that. And how I remove that is click on the tool button, the graduated filter first, so this button right here, click on here, and then you click on brush, and then I'm gonna click on erase and get that redness off the building. So you can see like the redness is coming off the building. This brush tool is very handy if you want to target specific spots. Gives it a more unique look. It's only the sky that's red right now and not the buildings basically. And yeah, so we're gonna keep it that, and we're gonna darken the sky a little bit more. So I like my skies to be a bit more red. So I typically will click on this, and as you can see, it's already more like darker. So, and you can always zoom in and go towards the buildings and just clean off the little pieces here, and then go up here and we'll clean it up like that. So brush tool is very important. So I'm gonna clean this off right here, and just the tips of all the buildings, and on the few of the buildings at the very far end, it's okay to have like a bit of like a shadow, like a sky shadow, but this is what I'll do. Click on done and go back, so you can see how intense the sky is already. And for the roads, I like it to be a bit more darker for the roads. So what I do is I'll grab the brush tool again. The brush tool is one of my favorite tools, and lower the color first because I don't want the road to also be red. So I'm gonna click on here, I'm gonna increase the feather and then just brush it. And if you wanna see how it looks like, because you don't know where you're painting over, click on O on your keyboard, and then you can see the green pops up. So you can just color this area right here. So I'm gonna get everything. And it doesn't matter if you get the cars or anything, because they're so small detail, they will blend in nicely. But I'm not getting the bus on the corner because it's a much larger object. And click on O again, and then I can lower the exposure off the ground, and you can see it's already getting darker. So you can see there's a nice layer between, I like it this way. So you can see there's already a nice layer between the road and the sky. And I'm gonna raise the color, so I like a bit more warmer tone. Since this is like the streets of Dhaka, I'm gonna make it a bit more warm. I'm gonna raise the temperature to a 10, so it already has like a glow of yellow to it. So if you want to see how the photo looks like when it's like full screen, So this is the final product. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Shout out to the person who sent me this photo. I'll put his Instagram handle somewhere here on the screen right now, like here or here, wherever you're gonna see it. On to the next one. This is my favorite photo out of like all the photos I'm gonna edit. I can already tell this is a very nice photo. You can see like it has a nice silhouette to it. The sky is very clean. There's a sun and people are just having a great time. You can see the reflections right here on the sand or in water. I think it's a very sick photo. So how I would edit this photo is I'll probably look over my filters. So bluish, green, nighttime, cars, nighttime indoor. Ooh, nighttime indoor. Okay, so nighttime indoor is really cool for this photo. It just brings the lights and the shadows of the photo and the blue sky. It kind of looks like it just goes into the galaxy, and the sun is just like there, the bluish. But what I want to do is bring down the tint a bit more. I like how it has like a bluish look. Typically when you see a photo like this, you imagine that it's gonna have like a moody look to it, but I like to be a bit different. I like to have a bit more unique style to it, and my favorite tool, which would be the graduated filter. So there's already a graduated filter on top of it. I can lower the brightness to get the color more punchy and more like galaxy-ish type of, as you can already see on the top right here. And for the ground, I don't like how there's like green here. I like it to be a bit full, more bluish. So what I'll do is, I don't like green in most of my photos. So what I'll do is I'll go down here and I'll see the saturation. I'll just lower the saturation and I'll lower the aqua. And it just takes the aqua and the green right off the bottom of the screen, and it's more of a blue. And if I want to increase the blue, I think it'll have like a much more deeper look to it. Yeah, as you guys can see, it already has a bluish deep look to it. And I'll just keep this photo till here. I think this is a sick photo. Shout out to whoever sent me this photo. You have an eye for photography. Amazing shot. And I'll sure be to tag you on your Instagram. Let's move on to the third. Okay, so this is one of my favorite photos as well. Like the Toyota Corolla, like everybody knows, or that's a Premium or Allion. I don't know. I forgot which car is this. Whoever knows what car is this, please comment below. And this guy completes the photo. Like this guy completes the photo. I like how he's just holding the flags and just walking through the street under the trees. I think this is a fantastic click. So I will not put a filter on it, but I'll keep the edit very simple on it. So some of the basics that I usually just go for are the tint. Bring that up to a 10-ish. So that's my tint. That's my temperature. And with auto tone, I'm gonna click on auto and see what it does for me. So it did bring up the brightness a little bit, but I like to keep it a bit more moodier. So I'm gonna lower the brightness till here to get the greens really out. Contrast is fine. Highlights is fine. Shadows, I'm gonna bring down the shadows a bit more, give it a more deeper look. And the blacks, I'm gonna make it more darker. So I'm gonna go for 25. And white should be should be same as what it is. Clarity, I like to use clarity when there's a lot of ground, so you can really see the grit of the ground and it's not a smoother surface. It really gives a punch to the pictures. And for that, what I'm gonna do is click on the graduated filter, as usual, our favorite tool, and bring up the filter like this right here. Actually, no, I'm not gonna use the graduated filter. I'm gonna use the brush tool because I don't want the car to be also clarified, if you know what I mean. So I'm gonna click on circle and I'll be able to get like a whole ground colored up so I can clarify it a bit more. So get this part here, get this part here. Okay, so I'm gonna click on circle again, and what I do is I'll always lower the brightness because I like how the ground is a bit darker, and you can see automatically the shadow brings up of the sky, not the sky but the trees, and it gives a bit more of a texture. And what I do is I increase the clarity so you can see how the ground is getting a bit more grittier. So I'm gonna give it a bit more, keep it at 25 and lower the shadows right here. Okay, and for the curve tone, bring down the saturation to make it a bit more moodier and like it a bit more of like a sunset look, a darker look. What we're gonna do is go down to luminance and then bring down the brightness of the green. So it's gonna give like a much more deeper green tone. So I'm gonna keep it like that and check. So it has like a deeper look to it right now. And for the highlights and the shadows, okay, for the highlights, keep it a bit more, keep it at 50. The highlights, you want to always keep it warm. That looks the most natural to me. And I'm going to bring up the highlights, get more of a gloomier look. So you can see the highlights, basically what it does is it reflects off the surfaces. So it seems like there's a sun at the top and it's just reflecting off the ground. So it's like a moodier tone to it. I already think this photo is fantastic. I love it. I'm not going to mess around with the shadows because the shadows should be natural. Bring up the sharpness at 5, and I'm gonna bring the vignettes, so add a bit of vignette to it, give it a bit more moodier look. And that's it. I think that looks fantastic. And one thing I want to say, this is not me making your photos look better. This is just how I would edit them personally, so I don't want anybody to get offended. I'm not showing you how the photos turn out better. It's just that this is my own style and how I would, edit my photos and how I would post it. Okay, another sunset photo. This is like so dope. This photo is amazing. Gonna show you how it looks like, and I already know how I edit this photo because I take these photos. If you follow my Instagram, which also will be linked below if you guys want to check it out. So the blue reddish sky is right off the bat. I know it's gonna work out. That's it. So you can already see like this photo is like beautiful. Load. I have a really slow Mac, guys, but I'm trying to save money to buy a new one. Okay, so that's it. That's how the photo looks like. I'm gonna still do a couple of things to it. So for example, I'm gonna lower the shadows on the sky because I want it to be a bit more punchy for the sky. I'm gonna bring up, as you can see, there's already a graduated filter added to it, and I'm gonna lower the shadows. And you can see it gives them a bit more grungier look, and the skies are more mean. I'm gonna lower you can see it gets more deeper and deeper in color. And what else can we do to it? What if we bring up the tint a bit more? I'm gonna bring up the tint a bit more, and what I'm gonna do is go on RBG. Guys, if you're not familiar with the RBG tool, the tone curve, please get yourself familiar with it. It's one of the best tools that Lightroom offers. So I'm gonna lower this a bit more. Okay, now this is something that I would post on the story. This is actually so sick. I'm probably gonna tilt it vertically because I like it to be portrait, and then I'm gonna post it on my Instagram story. Shout out to whoever who sent me this photo, link up here or somewhere here, and let's move on to the fourth one. Okay, I just gotta say, you guys are so creative. You guys all have this uniqueness to all the photos that you send me. Really appreciate whoever followed my Instagram and whoever saw my story and sent those photos up to me. This photo I really like. This photo kind of resonates with me personally. I used to visit my village in Bangladesh and used to see these type of scenarios to be like in complete awe, and now I get to edit one of them. So thank you whoever sent me this photo out. Okay, enough of the sloppy stuff. Let me edit this photo. Greenish gold, because they're green, I would like it to be a greenish gold, and I like my photos when the highlight is just like, it's just a beam of light. It feels like there's something bigger, like a higher power. I know it sounds very dramatic, so I'm gonna lower the RGB a little bit more, make it a bit more darker. I always like a bit more darker and lighter. I play with colors a little bit, and I'm gonna make it a bit more fader too. So once you see this corner on the left hand side, you bring this up, it gives the photo a fade, like a fade-ish type of photo. You can see it's kind of like there's a bit of a tint to it. I really like it. And a couple things I'm gonna touch on too. I'm gonna lower the saturation. Like, these are the things that I don't need in my photo, like purple or magenta. Green, if I lower it, it turns kind of like pale, I would say. I like it a bit more green, but what I can do is lower the luminance of the green. So once you lower the luminance, the green gets a bit more deeper and darker. And for the highlights, 30 is fine. It comes default with the preset that I'm using. And for the shadows, let's try a bit of red on the shadows. So you can get the reddish feel, or if we put it on greenish feel. What about bluish feel? And too much blue. Okay, now I'm gonna go up and increase the temperature to about 14, 12. Okay, perfect. This is something that I would post, definitely. So shout out to whoever sent me this out, really appreciate it. Again, Instagram will be right up here. We'll do one more. First I'm gonna try a filter. Let's see. Nah, this is too bright, too greenish. Nighttime cars. Nah, this is for cars. Nighttime indoor and old polar. I really like old polar. It's a bit of like a funkier color, but what I'm gonna do is come down here and actually lower the dehaze it a bit. I feel like it needs a bit more dehazing, and because I feel like it was taken from behind a glass, so the glass is kind of blurry, and I don't like how it's kind of like ugly at the top right here. So I'm gonna grab the crop tool and I'm gonna crop that out because I don't want that thing up there. So I'm gonna cut this right here. So this I really like. You can see already I cut so much unnecessary space because of the sky was kind of like a dirty-ish green, but this is something that I would definitely post on my story. But I do want to get rid of some of the ugly greens right here. Again, the photo's not ugly, it's just the greens. So what I'm gonna do is come down here, grab the green and just lower the green. As you can see, the green automatically went away, and then lower the blue again. But what I'm gonna do is brush tool. Like always, we love our brush tools on this channel, and I'm gonna color the roads right here. So go over as much as space as you want, miss the buses, it really doesn't matter, it's all like really tiny details. But if you do want to spend your time and like work on those, go ahead, feel free. I'm just showing you what I would do quickly when I have to edit something. So put that there, press circle again, and then lower the darkness of the roads to make it a bit more separate. Put the sky over there, and for the sky I'm gonna grab another graduated filter and I'm gonna drag this along here, and I'm gonna bring this up here again and increase the tint to 15, and only that area in particular will be affected. And what I'll do is I will also lower the highlights, and I will also bring in a bit more color. So I'm gonna try a bit more yellow. Nope, that's too much yellow. What about a bit more blue? I feel like blue will stand out a bit more. Yes, so blue stands out a bit more. And increase the shadows just a little bit to get all the details out, and lower the brightness, the exposure I mean, and then give it a bit more of a bluish tint. You can always play around with all these tools, and then that's it. That's what I would post. So shout out to whoever sent me that out. I hope you like all my edits so far, and if you do want these edits to be sent to you, please DM me on my Instagram and I will send edited ones back to you. And that's pretty much it. So these are the ways that I would edit. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys follow along with all the tutorials. I do plan to make more. I am still learning at the same time too. This was for Bangladesh, but I still also want to do specific videos. So street photography, there will be nature photography, there will be maybe food photography, then indoor photography, portrait photography, you name it, we're gonna do it all. But if you did get inspired and you learned something new from this video, please do give it a thumbs up, comment below and subscribe, and also comment below what type of photography you want me to edit next. I haven't really done edit my followers videos, so this is something new and I really enjoyed it. It's really nice to see what other people's perspectives are. So hope you guys have a nice day, keep taking photos and keep just chasing your dreams, and you know, like I always say, I'll catch you on the next one. Shubhoratri.